All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we are tackling one of the biggest, most controversial topics out there, Bitcoin. So is it this amazing tool for freedom, or is it just a massive illusion? Let's dig in.
This is the dream, right? This is the core idea of Bitcoin. It's supposed to be this incredible force for good, a way for everyday people to finally take back control of their own money, away from the big banks and governments who've always called the shots.
But then, there's the other side of the coin. For a lot of people, this is the painful reality, a world that feels like it's just full of scams, huge losses, and these just spectacular collapses that have absolutely destroyed people's life savings.
So, what is the true story of Bitcoin? Well, to really get it, you have to understand this central paradox. There's this massive, almost unbelievable gap between the revolutionary dream and the messy, complicated, and honestly, often disappointing reality.
Okay, so to really unpack this, let's start with the dream. Let's go to where it was put to the test, on the ground, in a small town in El Salvador called El Zonte. You might know it better as Bitcoin Beach.
So picture this, a small town, about 3,000 people, where almost nobody has a bank account. We're talking 70% of the country is unbanked. Then, out of nowhere, an anonymous donor drops a six-figure donation in Bitcoin. But there's a catch. The one condition was, you can't just cash this out. You have to use it. You have to build a local circular economy with it.
And you know what? For a little while, it really seemed to be working. The vision was simple: empower the community directly. No banks, no dollars, no middlemen. People were getting paid in Bitcoin for doing community work, like cleaning up the local river. And there was this project, Hope House, that used Bitcoin donations to give kids educational programs, a real alternative to the gang life that was so common there.
And the impact? It was real. You could see it. We're talking about 122 families, folks who would never, ever get a loan from a traditional bank. They were able to build sturdy, safe homes. It was incredible. For a moment there, that utopian promise, it felt totally real. But that dream, it ran headfirst into some pretty harsh realities. It turns out the very things that make Bitcoin so exciting also make it really, really dangerous. And this exposed three big costs: an economic one, a social one, and a huge environmental one.
So, first, let's talk about the economic cost. We're talking about extreme volatility and risk. And this risk, it hit the exact people Bitcoin was supposed to help. Take Maria Gearfroy, for example, a local vendor who really went all in on the experiment. So Maria saw her Bitcoin savings just skyrocket to $60,000. Amazing, right? But then, just a few months later, she lost more than 2/3 of it. And this kind of wild swing isn't just a problem for one person, it makes it basically an unusable currency for a whole country. After El Salvador made Bitcoin legal tender, a report in 2024 found that a whopping 92% of Salvadorans just didn't use it.
Then there's the social cost. The Bitcoin beach hype attracted a ton of outside attention. It caused a land boom, doubling prices, and what happened? 25 local families were displaced to build a luxury Bitcoin beach club. So, a project that was all about financial inclusion ended up causing physical exclusion. Just think about that for a second.
Okay, now for the environmental cost. This one is literally built into the code of Bitcoin. The whole network is secured by a process called proof of work. And what that means in simple terms is that you have computers all over the world racing to solve these complex puzzles. It's a nonstop competition that burns an incredible amount of energy.
And when I say incredible, I mean it. We're talking about an annual electricity consumption comparable to the entire country of Thailand. To bring it closer to home, look at Plattsburgh, New York. Just one mining operation there used up 1/3 of the city's entire power grid. It jacked up electricity bills for all 20,000 residents, and for what? It created almost no jobs and no real tax revenue.
So yeah, the dream of a new currency for the people, it pretty much failed. But here's where it gets really interesting. In its place, something really paradoxical started to happen. The anti-establishment revolution, well, it started getting taken over by the establishment.
And this is the biggest paradox of all. The original cypherpunk dream was for this decentralized, peer-to-peer, anti-establishment money. But the reality now? It's centralized on exchanges like Coinbase. It's being adopted by Wall Street. It's not a new kind of money. It's a new kind of asset, packaged and sold by the very firms it was built to replace.
The big turning point really came in early 2024. That's when the US approved Bitcoin ETFs. This meant anyone could invest in Bitcoin through a normal stock brokerage account. I mean, when giants like BlackRock and Fidelity jump in, that's a massive signal. It was a total game changer, turning Bitcoin from this fringe idea into a legitimate asset class.
And yeah, everyone knows about the crazy volatility, but look at this. By 2022, something interesting was happening. Its performance, its big swings, were starting to look a lot like some major tech stocks. That year, Bitcoin was down about 60%, but Amazon was down 47%. That's not so different. And that shift is exactly what made big institutions think, okay, maybe we can work with this.
So, this big hug from Wall Street sets the stage for a final and, honestly, a really fascinating showdown. This isn't just about Bitcoin anymore. This is about the future of money, period.
It looks like we're heading for this three-way standoff for your wallet. On one side, you've got state money, things like central bank digital currencies. In the middle, you have corporate money, think PayPal or Venmo. And on the other side, you have this decentralized money, like Bitcoin. Three totally different models of control, privacy, and what they're even used for.
Take the state money option. The European Central Bank is already working on a digital euro because they want to stay in control. But critics are raising a huge red flag here. They're worried it could lead to unprecedented surveillance. I mean, a government-run digital currency could, in theory, let them see every single thing you buy.
And this is where Bitcoin seems to be finding its true place. It's not about buying coffee. As one analyst put it, Bitcoin is very much like gold. It's a terrible medium of exchange, but it's a wonderful store of value. So it failed as a daily currency, but it's succeeding as something totally different, digital gold, a rare neutral asset you can hold outside of those very state and corporate systems.
Which brings us to the final, big question. As Bitcoin gets absorbed by the very system it was designed to disrupt, can a revolution survive its own success? When the rebellion gets adopted by the mainstream, what does winning even look like anymore? That's something to think about. Thanks for joining this explainer.